What have you got there?
Blackberries.
Oh, they look good.
Yeah. Shall I try one blackberry?
You can try one. What's it taste like?
It tastes like black currant. It's really yummy and really sweet.
Mmm. Welcome back to the Handmade Way. Today we're making another seasonal family favourite, blackberry jam. All these berries are foraged by hand right here in the UK with the whole family pitching in. Even the dog had to supervise. This time of year the hedgerows are bursting with free fruit, and with shop prices at £12 a kilo for blackberries, an afternoon outdoors can save you a small fortune and make for a fun family adventure. And the best part, this jam only needs 3 simple ingredients: blackberries, sugar and the juice of 1 lemon. That's it. Let's get stuck in. First things first, we need to give our freshly foraged blackberries a good clean. I like to soak mine in a big bowl of water with a little bit of added salt for about an hour. This helps draw out any little bugs and lets the leaves and debris float to the top. Now, I know this is the bit that can put some people off of foraging, but honestly, your shop brought fruit goes through its own cleaning process, it's just you don't see it. And if the fruit's good enough for the bugs, then well, it is good enough for you. After they've soaked, I pour them through a colander and give them a thorough rinse under the tap, picking out any damaged berries as I go. What you're left with is a bowl of beautiful, ready to eat blackberries, perfect for cooking or snacking straight away. Normally with preserves I sterilise my jars while the jam's cooking, but because this recipe can be ready in as little as 20 minutes and I want to give my jars at least 10 minutes at a rolling boil, I like to get them done before I start cooking. Once the jars have boiled, I just leave them sitting in the hot water. As long as the lid stays on the pot, they'll stay sterilised and ready to go for up to an hour, which gives plenty of flexibility for cooking time. Next, we need to measure out 1200 grams of blackberries. I've actually picked a bit more than that, so the extras are going into the freezer for another project down the line. Normally, I'd throw the berries straight into the pan whole, but today we're going to try something new. So the last few times that we did this, we just chucked them straight in the pan, reduced them down, but they come out with quite a few, obviously, solid lumps in there still, which the kids they do tolerate, but they prefer it a bit smoother. But I don't want to completely strain it, because then you get a lot smaller yield. So we're going to try, this time, food processing it, and seeing if that makes it come out a bit smoother, whilst still keeping the yield. Look at that, I think that's already going to come out a lot smoother, a lot nicer. Once blitzed, they go into the pan on low to medium heat for about 10 minutes to soften and ensure they've fully released all their juice. While the blackberries are heating, I get the sugar ready. This recipe doesn't need anything fancy, just good old-fashioned granulated sugar, and I add it roughly 1/3 at a time so it dissolves evenly without sticking. So for a traditional jam recipe, the ratio of sugar to fruit is about 1:1. Which is obviously a heck of a lot of sugar for this, and it kind of ruins the taste of the fruit. So I'm doing about 60%, which is why we're using about 700 grams of sugar for this. You can go a lot lower than that. A lot of the lower sugar jams are about 25%, so you're only talking a couple hundred grams. The only issue with that is you may have to add some more pectin because the jam won't might not set properly, and it's not going to keep as long. The whole point of the sugar is it's a preservative. The point I'm trying to make is if you really want to cut the sugar down, maybe you've got a health concern or you just don't want to consume that much sugar, but you still want to have your jams, you can reduce the sugar content down, but you're just going to have to keep a closer eye on your jam and eat it a bit quicker. Finally, the lemon juice. I'm using a whole fresh lemon today, but bottled juice works too. The lemon just adds acidity, which not only balances the sweetness but also extends the shelf life of your jam. Skip it if you want, but just know it won't last as long, so you'll have to eat it faster. Not exactly a hardship. Now it's time to cook the jam. Turn the heat from medium up to high to bring it to a boil. As it heats, you will see a bit of scum form on top. Totally normal, it is harmless and fine to leave in, but skimming it off gives your jam a nicer, clearer finish. Keep stirring regularly so nothing catches on the bottom. Once you've got a rolling boil, drop the heat back down to medium so it's just simmering. If you've got a jam thermometer, pop it in and let the jam cook for about 10 minutes, aiming to hit 105 degrees centigrade. That's the magic setting point temperature. However, no thermometer, no problem. You can use a saucer test. Chill a plate in the freezer first, then after 10 minutes of simmering, drop a little bit of jam on the cold plate. If it wrinkles when you push it with your finger, it's set. Personally, I prefer the thermometer. It's quick, reliable, and it only costs a few quid. Another tip, watch the bubbles. At first, they're big because there's so much moisture. As the jam thickens and gets close to setting, the bubbles become smaller, and the mixture feels thicker when you stir. I hit 105 degrees centigrade at 10 minutes, but gave it another 5 minutes or so because the bubbles weren't quite there yet. And if you go too far and it sets too firm, don't panic, I'll show you how to fix that later. As soon as the jam's ready, take it straight off the heat to prevent it overcooking and let it rest for about 10 minutes. While it's resting, I set up all my sterilised jars, lids and the funnel so everything is ready to go. I like to pour the jam into the jars while everything is still hot. This keeps things hygienic and sterile. The preserve set I use makes this so much easier. The tongs keep me from burning myself, and there's even a little magnet for lifting the lids, a real time saver. And the funnel keeps things neat, mostly. I've linked the ingredients and the kit in the pinned comment if you want to check them out, and that's it. Your beautiful, freshly foraged blackberry jam, safely in jars. Now, mine has set perfectly this time, and yeah, that is a flex. But if yours comes out a little too firm, don't worry, there's a couple of easy fixes that you could do. Now if your jam does come out more like a brick than a spread, don't panic, it happens to all of us at some point, and honestly it is not the end of the world. I've been there myself, and this batch of blackberry muffins is proof that even a mistake can turn into something delicious, as long as you've only overcooked it and not burnt it. Bake with it, use it as a swirl or filling in your baking. These muffins here, this was a batch of overcooked jam, and let's just say out of 24 that I made, we're down to 3 before I could even film it. I will drop a few recipe links in the description for inspiration if you find yourself with a jar or two that didn't go to plan. Last tip of the video, blackberries don't just make great jam, they also make great stains. Trust me, I've learned the hard way, leave your equipment too long and that deep purple hue might become a permanent feature. The trick is to clean up straight away. I stick to easy clean materials like stainless steel and plastic rather than wood because they don't hold on to the colour. Here I'm even using the hot sterilisation water from the jars to rinse out the pan and funnel, works a treat and saves on the washing up too. And as you can see, with just a little time and a few simple ingredients, you can turn a basket of foraged blackberries into something delicious to enjoy all year round. I'm giving these jars a simple decorative touch. They make brilliant gifts, or you can keep them all to yourself. And of course the best part, spreading it on some warm toast for that first taste test. Absolutely perfect. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep crafting independence, one skill at a time. Oh my god, it's popping everywhere.